How do we sell? It's such a big concept, it's such a big idea, and so many people get so hung up in the intricacies of selling that they forget what the end goal is. And in this video, I want to discuss the number one fundamental concept to successful sales. There's one thing that you ought to focus on in your sales process in order to increase your conversion rates, in order to be able to charge much higher amounts for whatever it is that you're selling. And this applies to products, this applies to services, right? There's one fundamental idea that will enable you to close more deals at a higher price point. And it's not in your tonality, it's not in the intricacies of selling, it's an overarching idea. If this equation that I'll go through doesn't align in the prospect's mind, it doesn't matter what your sales process is. It doesn't matter how good of a salesman you are. If this equation doesn't line up in the prospect's mind, they will not buy. It's as simple as that. So what's the equation? What's the fundamental concept that has to be evident within your sales in order to close more deals at a higher price point? That is the gap between the price that you're charging and the perceived value of the product. Whether you're selling a $100 product, a $1,000 product, a $10,000 product, a $100,000 product, it doesn't matter. If the prospect truly believes, they truly believe that they are buying a $5 note with $10, they'll never make that transaction. You'll never be able to sell that prospect. It doesn't matter your tonality that you use, whether you go softer or whether you go stronger and you're more, stronger and you have more of a powerful approach to certain things, or whether you show results, or it doesn't matter. If they truly believe that what you're selling is worth $5 and you're asking $10 for it, they won't make that transaction, because to them, their $10 note is more valuable than what they're buying, which is only $5. So they're not gonna give you the $10, right? They'll just keep it because it's more valuable to them. On the flip side, if they truly believe that what you're selling is worth $20 and you're asking $10 for it, they'll make the trade all day, every day of the week. Now, going back to the idea of like tonality and your framework, your sales process itself, the language pattern you use and whatnot, these are all really important things. But what we use these things for is to make that discrepancy between the price and the perceived value bigger. That's what we use it for. And it's that concept that people forget about. They forget about why they're doing the smaller intricacies, and they get so hung up in the intricacies, they forget the main goal. They forget the end goal, which is to make the perceived value of your product or service outweigh the price in which you're asking for it. It's as simple as that. Now, in money-making industry, so for example, if you run an agency, you're selling a return on the prospect's investment. That's what you're selling, right? You say, yep, pay us $2,000 a month, pay us $5,000 a month, and we'll run your ads for you, and we'll make you more profitable than you currently are. So we'll give you $50,000 a month back for you paying us $5,000, for example. That's kind of the goal as well with your agency stuff. You want to be making sure that you're returning at least a 8 to 10x on whatever your retainer is. So if your retainer is $2,000, ideally you want to be giving the client back around $20,000 per month in profit. If it's $5,000, and these are at a minimum, right? At $5,000 retainer, ideally you want to be shooting for around $50,000 a month in profit. So then at that point, not only does the sale become tremendously easy, because if you can prove that you're going to give the prospect back $50,000 a month in pure profit for them paying you $5,000 a month, they'll make that transaction. Who wouldn't pay you $5,000 a month if they knew with 100% certainty that you'll be able to give them $50,000 a month in profit back? Everybody on earth would make that transaction. Everyone. So then the goal of the sales call becomes proving that you can actually deliver on it, proving that you'll actually generate them $50,000 a month profit, right? Building their belief so strong where they're like, oh my God, this is it. This is exactly what I need. I can 100% see, I totally understand how and why you're gonna be able to do this for me. How much do you charge? $5,000 a month. Perfect, let's do it. That becomes the goal of the sales call. That is like the number one thing. All these other things, right? Tonality and the framework that you use and the specific questions that you ask and how you say certain things and the language patterns you use and whatnot. They're important, but on their own, they're not enough. You have to build that belief in the prospect that you can actually deliver on whatever it is that you're selling them. And whatever it is that you're selling them should have a much higher outcome than what it is that you're charging them. And then once you've stated how much you charge, and how much you, and so then once you've built the perceived value, you then need to increase the belief of the prospect that what you're actually saying is true, because we can all say that we'll charge 10,000 a month and we'll give you 200,000 a month back. Everybody can say that. It's only a select few who can actually build the belief in the prospect that you'll actually do it. And it's those people that build the belief in the prospect, they are the ones who get the sale, while everybody else is sat there pitching, and they never sign clients, they never sign customers. So a really good example of this is my high-level program, Centurion Agency, okay? This is a really easy to understand example, which is why I'm using it. So my high-level program, Centurion Agency, is a high multiple four-figure investment, right? It's a high multiple four-figure investment. It's a lot of money up front. And so if I hopped on a call with somebody and they were interested in joining Centurion, and for example, let's say it's not quite $10,000, but let's just say, for example, it is a $10,000 program, and I hop on a call with somebody, and I go, okay, so, I ask them a few questions and whatnot, and then I go, okay, cool, yeah, look, from those answers that you've just given me there, I can see that you are a good fit for Centurion Agency. So Centurion Agency costs $10,000. They're gonna be like, okay, what do I actually get for that? Right? And then I'll have to explain, and then they probably won't really see too much value in that, right? Because it's like $10,000, what, for a pro? No way. Right? I get it. Now on the flip side, if I focus on building the perceived value, the true perceived value of Centurion, and then I focus on strengthening the prospect's belief in that the perceived value is true, that's the only point at which I'll get the sale. So let's again use the same example. I'll hop on a call with somebody who's interested in joining Centurion, and it's still a $10,000 program. But now I go, ask them the questions. Cool, I can see that you can actually, I can see that Centurion's a good fit for you. I can see that we'll be able to get you to where you want to go. Let me just first off show you some results that Centurion customers experience on a daily basis. So here's this customer, and this customer was able to add an extra 16. By the way, these are real results, right? I'm not going to say names, but these are real results. You can actually see it on my Instagram highlights if you're interested. So he was actually able to add an extra $16,000 per month to his monthly recurring revenue in a 48-hour period. I think he signed around 3 clients, right? In a 48-hour period, and that then equated to an extra $16,000 per month, right? Here's another one of our customers, right? He was able to sign a $5,000 per month client at a 7% ROAS. Here's another one of our customers. He was able to actually sign a done with you offer, right? So just a one-time done with you offer for 2.5K. Here's another one of our customers. He was able to go from $3,000 a month with his agency up to $10,000 per month. So, let's just have a look at an example there. If you was able to just sign one more client per month at $3,000, which is a very, very low monthly retainer in comparison to some of these customers here. As you can see, this customer signed a $5,000 a month client, this one's a 4, this one's a 6. Let's just say conservatively you signed a $3,000 per month client each and every month by virtue of joining the program. What would that be like for you? That would be good. In the space of 3 months, I would add an extra $9,000 per month recurring revenue. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Every single month, that's pretty dope. Cool. Now, the price of Centurion is a one-time fee of $10,000. Just one-time fee, $10,000. What do you think? What are your thoughts? So in that instance, I've built the perceived value of the program to be so high because customers currently are, doing these numbers, doing those numbers, doing these numbers consistently, routinely. And so if you just action on the same things, you'll see the same results. And by the way, this is a recurring client. So when you sign one client, that's recurring. If you sign one client in a 3-month period at $3,000 per month, that's not $3,000, that's $9,000. So worst case scenario, you sign one low ticket client at $3,000 per month, in 3 months you would have made your investment back on a worst case scenario basis. And so now what I've done is I've set the price at the same number, but I've made the perceived value of the program so much higher that now creates an opportunity for them to make that transaction, because now they're paying $1 to get a $10 note instead of paying $10 to get a $1 note. And that's the true key to sales. And so everything in your sales process needs to refuel this idea, needs to always keep coming back to that idea. Because if that idea isn't in place, if they truly think in their mind that they're going to be spending $10 to get $5 back, they're never going to make the transaction. No matter what your tonality is, no matter what your framework is, no matter what you're selling at whatever price point, it doesn't matter. They will never buy. And so I hope this video gave you something different to think about when it comes to your sales. Because when I started to really focus on honing on this concept on my sales calls, it genuinely helped me sign more clients at a higher price point, which is the ultimate way to scale. People oftentimes ask me like, hey Kai, what are you focusing on now? Volume or high ticket? My answer every single time back to that question is both. I want to sign more clients on a higher price point. That's it. That is truly the best way to scale. And as I say, by me focusing on this idea of just constantly on the sales call, tripling down on the idea of increasing the gap between what the price of the service is and the perceived value of that same service, just trying to stretch this gap as much as possible, it every single time enabled me to close more clients at a high price point, because the bigger the gap, the more they're willing to pay, because this is genuinely what they're getting. So if you make this gap huge, they're willing to pay more, which means you can charge more. So even if, you know, the gap's like this big, for example, you make the gap this big and your current price is down here, and now you go, I think I can charge more, let me charge more. There's still a huge gap because they're still buying $10 notes with $3. And as you go up, maybe now they're spending $4, now it's $7, and then now it's $10. Okay, now we need to focus on making the gap bigger again. Right? That's all I focus on. So I hope this helps you with your sales calls. It's more of a mindset thing rather than like say this, do this, copy that. But I truly believe that if you start to focus on this, as I say, on your sales calls, you will be able to see a pretty big increase. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.